Okay, so Tanya, I just will say a couple of words.
Minutes,
Guys, we are continuing. Thank you that you always ask. And I just want to introduce our today moderator, Dr. Tatiana Soboleva, National University, Economic University named by Vadim Getman, Kiev, Ukraine. And please, Tanya, we are yours. Please.
Thank you very much, Igor. First of all, I would like to thank the Lord for this great opportunity and honor to be a participator in this conference. At the same time, I'm very appreciate for this opportunity to be a moderator of this economic direction section, because it's my field, and all of us, I hope, will enjoy a lot of our communication and discussion economic issues in this field. And during our program, I would like to invite to the first make speech Tatiana Strayko and Carlos de las Heras Jambrino, Patricia Iglesias Sanchez, our international team from Ukraine and Spain. And the topic is environmental startups in the solar energy sector, social initiatives or profitable projects. You are welcome, and the floor is yours.
1 minute, my dear colleagues, because my Spanish colleagues, Carlos, who our first speaker, your Zoom workplace actualizado ahora. Esto mi Spanglish, Spanish and English words together, but a few minutes, 2 minutes, Zoom our...
Tania, I'm here already.
Oh, Carlos, oh, bienvenido. Excuse me. This is my colleagues from University of Malaga, Carlos. Now we realize a new project about startups for women, and Carlos present our project.
Yes, I will share a couple of slides about our project of startup and sustainable energy in Spain, a case comparison between Spain and Ukraine. Well, hello everyone. It's Carlos from the University of Malaga, and I will talk about the project that we have realized with my colleagues Tania and Patricia Iglesias, a lecturer from the University of Malaga. It is called Environmental Startups in the Solar Energy Sector, Social Initiative for Profitable Projects. I am a PhD candidate from the University of Malaga, and also I'm a founder of Ubora, which is a solar energy startup based on the south of Spain. Okay, the introduction. Well, the focus of startup as a business in growth is scaling and profit. However, and this is the goal of all stakeholders, founders, investors, and employees. But we have seen that there is a different category, which is called social startup, which primarily seeks to solve a specific social, environmental, or cultural problem, rather to make money from it. This approach makes it difficult to monetize and raise funds, because, as all knows, a business is created to make money by meeting a specific needs in society. However, we have seen that need that is solving a social problem makes money for startup as well. The goal of a social business is to recoup its cost and an optimistic scenario and solve a social problem. Its success is measured through impacts, positive impacts, and its return of investment. So we are thinking, can an environmental startup be highly profitable? Should they have special evaluation criteria or a specific business model? We have to prove that with eco-friendly startup. Are they getting funds? Are they getting real valuation? This is our question. And in materials and method, based on retrospective analysis of the reports of the International Comparative System of Sustainable Development Reports, there are over 80 climate tech unicorns around the world who are now collectively valued at 180 billions. The global green tech and sustainability market was estimated to hold around 417 billion by 2023. Some experts say that the growth of green technology have already outpaced prediction, having passed the 4 trillions mark in 2020. The number, we also try to seek for the number of green techs that are right now listed in Europe, but it's difficult to estimate that. However, we saw that in GrantSpace, there are over 1.5 thousand green tech startups. GrantSpace is one of the most renowned database for startup and funding.
Carlos, sorry, we still see the first slide. It's okay?
Sorry?
We only see the title slide. It's okay?
Okay, no, I was going through different ones.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. Are you seeing now? Okay, 1 second, please.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is happening.
May I suggest you can change the slide manually, press the current slide. It's possible, or maybe another option to start the presentation mode.
Are you seeing right now the Ukrainian case study, or?
Yes, exactly. Let's see. So,
And now are you seeing the Spain case study?
No, now Ukrainian case study, Carlos.
Ukrainian case study.
Next Spain case study.
fine.
Okay. I would, because I don't know why it's not changing slides, even though I'm doing manually, but I will. You are not seeing different slides right now, right?
No, maybe it makes sense to press the slide in the left of your screen.
Okay, I will do that when I change slides. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, then what we did, it's a case study between Ukraine and Spain. Now we are going to talk about the Ukrainian case. And first of all, knowing about how solar energy is established in Ukraine, we saw that at the end of 2021, solar energy in Ukraine accounted for more than 5% of the total electricity production. As of the end of 2021, the total capacity of solar power plants was 6,320 megawatts. Ukrainian eco also, we saw that Ukrainian eco startups are not inferior to the world's best node initiative ideas and have been winning prizes at the international startup competition, such as the University Startup World Cup in recent years. Some of the most famous Ukrainian startup about solar energy are Heliopulse, which is a highly efficient solar collector, a concentrator for domestic and and industrial use, and also solar gaps, which are windows, window blinds with solar panels attracted to them. It has raised over 50,000 euros they started in 2017. Then we'll move to, are you seeing the Spain case study? Okay. Well, Spain has different environmental with Ukraine, that it's a very shiny and a very commitment to sustainable development. It's becoming a leader in renewable energy, in the renewable energy sector, and startups are playing a very a crucial role in this change, developing technologies and solutions that are redefining the country's energy landscape. Right now, Germany, Spain, and Italy are the three most attractive solar markets for investors in Europe. This is one of the main conclusions of the report of the attractiveness of the European solar market prepared by Aurora Energy Research. According to its forecast, in 2030, the three countries will combine 58% of solar energy capacity of the whole energy, 58% of the total energy capacity installed in the continent. They will also attract 83% of all the investment needed for the projected growth between 2023 and 2030. This report was made by Aurora Energy Research. Also, I want to talk about the Eubora Solar Solvers, which is an spin-off of the University of Malaga. This is the startup that I set up in 2020. It's a marketplace that combines clients that are looking for solar installation and also installer. So, which is our advantage? We give customer the best installer for them, and we help installer to find the right customer for them. For example, I live in Fuengirola, a village of Malaga, and I'm looking for installer, but I said that I speak Ukrainian. So what should I do? What our marketplace does? We look, for example, to an installer based in the south of Spain that they told us that he speaks Ukrainian. So we put the perfect client to the perfect installer. Installers are very happy. Installers are very happy with his customer, and also they are very happy with us because they are not expending much money on marketing or in business development. Then what are the results about our study? Summarizing the research, it can be noted that the current environment of startup offer investor many opportunities to invest in solar energy projects. Ukraine, in particular, has the largest selection of PV and concentrate power, projected that can generate millions of kilowatts per year, with both utility scale, rooftop installation being available option. Investing in companies developing innovative solutions for generating or storing renewable energy can be a great way to take advantage of the growing demand for green solutions today in Europe. Our conclusion are that startups are focusing on solar energy are promising due to several factors. The growing demand of renewable energy. Second, constant advance in technology. Third, there are many governmental initiatives and startups that disrupt existing business model by offering decentralized, autonomous, or local solar solution can gain competitive advantage. However, a startup in the solar sector also face challenges such as regulatory barriers, technology risk, fierce competition, and access to finance. Success in this industry requires innovation, sustainability, strategic partnership, and deep understanding of the market dynamics. Overall, the outlook for solar startup remains favorable, driven by the growing urgency to address climate change transition to a sustainable energy future. Thank you very much for listening. I will stop.
Thank you very much for your presentation, for interesting information for the start in our discussion. Dear colleagues, dear participants, do you have some questions? Or maybe I would like to ask Tatiana, are you going to add something, or you like, do you want to represent some information?
No, Carlos represent all our research. Thank you, my dear colleagues, for attention and our research, and I'm glad to see you.
Thank you very much. So, dear
Yeah, Sergey, please.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Pani Tatiana. Very interesting. And technically speaking, all these profitability in your business in solar energy, I think it's largely dependent on subsidies. I might be wrong, but what is the price? How competitive solar energy would be at this level of technology development in the field without any subsidies, if they directly compete with the market price of energy? Okay.
Okay. It's a very, very nice question. And it's very depends on the country. I'm going to talk about the Spanish case, all right? And for example, we have a scenario in Spain that they have removed completely the subsidies because they said that solar energy is already profitable and it's a technology that it's here and it's going to be here for ages. So they have removed all technologies. And right now, with the current prices of electricity, we can return our investment in around 5 to 7 years. And it has and solar panels, well, the whole system have a lifetime period of around 25 to 30 years, depending on the quality of the materials.
So it's competitive with the wind energy, or wind energy is more expensive or less expensive?
Wind
Solar
energy is more expensive. Solar energy, yeah, solar energy right now is the cheapest way of generating electricity,
Very
at
good.
least in Spain.
Very good, thank you.
And please, if I may, Carlos and Tatiana, you said that 3 countries, yeah, European countries, Germany, as I remember, Spain and Italy, are most attractive, yeah, for investors.
Mm-hmm.
It means due to climate or due to regulations or both?
I think it's, well, I don't know if Tatiana want to answer, but what we read, it's about both. It's a combination of regulation and climate. For example, Germany is not that competitive in terms of sun radiation. However, solar energy market, it's the older in Europe. So regulation is highly attractive and very secure for investors.
And the second part of this question, what about Ukraine? Did you compare the regulation and solar power attraction in Ukraine compare with Spain, let's say?
I cannot answer. We didn't go very deep in that comparison because we were focusing on the startup level, not in the utility scale level. But I don't know if Tatiana can add something to that.
Yeah, Carlos realized a project in solar energy in Spain, and he has startup in solar energy in Spain. But I take research about solar energy in Ukraine, and Spain this is the country which have a very big experience in solar energy, and maybe it's very important for Ukraine in future. But now the most territory in Ukraine where situated solar energy electricity occupied, because in the Syria Ukraine it's my native region, yeah. But now we try more research solar energy in Spain, and maybe added this experience for development solar energy in Ukraine when the war finished.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
May I still ask? I don't
Yeah.
want to if somebody want other. Okay, Carlos, you are the owner of the startup and you know the best. The soil which is under the panels can be still used, I've heard, to grow some vegetables which don't require too much sun. So how economically feasible is that agriculture under the panels?
Agriculture under the panels? Well, yeah, I understood the question. Well,
Okay.
it's also a very good and interesting question. Agriculture under solar panels are being used more and more in Spain. Also, not just like combining at the beginning, but for example, it's very good for the soil, for the plot of land that you are installing solar farms, because it lets the soil and the ground to recover. So after we remove the solar panels, it's easier, and it's a very better land for agriculture. And also we're seeing that with little I don't know how it's called in English, but with small plants, it cannot be very big. It's good for agriculture, because solar panel gets all the radiation. So at the end the plants are not getting much sun, let's say. But I'm not an expert on agriculture. We are more in the residential sector, but it's something that I learned. But I've seen that there are many companies doing that.
Yeah, Carlos, not expert in agricultural, but I understand that, for example, in Ukraine, it's a very important sphere for agricultural, for little agricultural enterprises, because, for example, in Kherson region, there are a lot of different solar energy for agricultural too, for example, for growing vegetables in Kherson region and Nikolaev region, in part of Odessa region. It's was very important solar energy, yeah, for agriculture. Thanks for our questions. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear colleagues. Thank you for this very interesting presentation and information. And now we are moving on, and I propose to present the result of the research. Oksana Leshenko and Olga Demyanuk, and the topic, the interconnected nature of sustainable development goals, a holistic approach to global development. Yes, we see the presentation, so please, you are welcome to present the result.
Colleagues, do you see the presentation?
Unfortunately, now it disappeared, but before we saw it. Couple of seconds ago.
And now?
And now we see, yes, everything okay.
Okay, good morning or good day for everyone. I'm Oksana Lashenko. I'm postdoc Marie Curie Research Fellow in the Universidad de Sevilla, Spain. I want to present the part of EU-funded and the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action for Ukraine scheme individual project. Today's topic is the interconnected nature of Sustainable Development Goals, a holistic approach to global development. I want to express acknowledgements to all members of consortia of the Marie Curie Action, for Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, European University Association, Friends Post, Scholars and Risk Network, and Scholars and Risk Europe. All opinions which will be expressed in my presentation, are opinions of authors of this presentation, but not of the consortium. We all it's well known that the Sustainable Development Goals present a holistic framework designed to address the most critical challenges faced by humanity, ranging from eradicating poverty to preserving the environment. Central to the SDGs is recognizing the profound interconnections among different aspects of sustainable development, where economic, social, and environmental targets are intertwined in the unified framework of 17 SDGs. Implicit in the SDGs logic is that the goals and targets relate to and depend on each other, but use on exactly how they are evolving. Advancements in one area often led to positive outcomes in others, as seen in investments, for example, in education. SDG 4 yielding benefits such as improved health, SDG 3 reduced inequalities, SDG 10 and progress in gender equality, SDG 5. Taking a comprehensive approach to the SDG encourages cooperation and synergies, enhancing the effectiveness of interventions. For instance, initiatives that promote renewable energy, SDG 7, not only contribute to climate action, SDG 13, but also drive sustainable economic growth by creating employment opportunities, which is targeted by SDG 8. Understanding the interdependencies among all SDGs is crucial for crafting effective policies that can anticipate and address associated risks. Ensuring coherence and harmony in policymaking is essential to avoid conflicts between different objectives and to promote a well-rounded and inclusive approach to development. In this context, many questions arose that need to be addressed, such as how can we ensure that progress towards achieving one SDG does not hinder progress towards other SDGs? How can policymakers balance economic growth with environmental protection and social inclusion to achieve development goals? What examples of successful initiatives demonstrate the benefits of a comprehensive approach to SDGs, and how we promote greater collaboration and knowledge sharing between countries to accelerate SDG progress? Our research aims to reveal, as a part of the project, particular research aims to reveal empirical relations among SDGs globally by employing modern multivariate techniques to assess them and rank them in their importance in global development in terms of synergetic effect among them. It's worth mentioning that many scientists have attempted to reveal the interrelations among SDGs. In recent papers, for example, Sherman and co-authors highlight the necessity of enhancing the efficacy of efforts targeting multiple SDGs, as there is a limited time left to accomplish the global objectives by 2030. The research uses an influence matrix to evaluate the mutual relationships between all SDGs, indicating that environmental aspects and link between the environmental and humans significantly impact most SDGs interactions. The authors pinpoint a selection of measures associated with environment-human connections and substantially impact attaining specific SDGs, proposing that targeted environmental governance could enhance outcomes and alleviate trade-offs. Thus, these authors offer a thorough analysis of SDG interactions, underscoring the pivotal role of environmental governance in reaching all SDGs. Other authors collectives represented by Nilsson and others, drawing on results from a major international research study applied to SDGs on health, energy, and ocean, analyzed how interaction depend on key factors such as geographical context, resource endowments, time horizon, and governance. These authors highlighted that insufficient coordination across political and sectoral boundaries and limitation in the capacity of that data analysis or mainstreaming into policy is a major reason for knowledge gaps. They acknowledge that while there is a significant amount of case study knowledge on interaction among CDGs, there are many challenges in generalizing this knowledge with quantitative and statistical data. Let's say, in other words, excellent case study knowledge exists for some interactions, but difficulties arise when attempting to generalize these findings quantitatively. Additionally, there are instances where general statistics are available, but understanding how interactions play out in specific contexts is challenging. Therefore, while there is empirical evidence on SDG interactions, many articles indicate a need for more systematic quantitative assessment and models to understand these interactions. There are plenty of scientific papers in which authors provide a more robust basis for statistical modeling, data analysis. There are a lot of approaches, for example, archetype, target analysis that generalize several interaction patterns among SDGs with unique drivers, models with SDGs behaviors and policy implementation. But it's worth mentioning that some studies have used, nevertheless, they have used various quantitative methods for SDG interaction analyzing, including indicator-based pairwise statistical correlations or more advanced statistical models. The up-to-date and to the best of our knowledge, there are no integrated assessment of these interactions. And rather than focusing on specific interaction among SDG, we take a holistic approach to unveil the underlying factor complex governing these relationships. We examine the intricate interplay of various SDGs as interconnected factors, and our study provides a comprehensive understanding of how these factors collectively shape sustainable development pathways. We hope that that will help to facilitate informed decision-making and policy formulation by offering insights into SDG synergies and trade-offs. Our data, we use the base of our database is the SDG indicators database. These indicators measure progress towards achieving the SDG goals. They are part of a global framework established by interagency and expert group on SDG indicators and endorsed by the United Nations General Assembly. These indicators are transparent and methodologically robust, providing comprehensive coverage of countries to accurately represent their achievements in reaching SDGs. All indicators have universally accepted methodologies, ensuring comparability, accuracy, reliability, and usefulness. They assess approximately 140 targets within all 17 SDGs and covers all countries all around the world. For empirical analysis, we use SDG scores for all countries covered by United Nations database. This is a panel data for 2023. And to reveal the intangible factor structure that explains variation in SDG achievement across countries globally, we use multivariate techniques and simple statistical techniques such as descriptive and statistic factor analysis and regression analysis. Here you can see from slide the 3 heat maps for year 2021, 2022, and 2023. And as we can see, the several SDGs show a strong positive relationships among sustainable development goals. And it means that the progress in one area may be associated with progress in another. It could imply that certain SDGs have synergetic effects where advancements in specific goals aid in the advancements of others. Conversely, several SDGs also display negative correlation in blue color in all shades of blue. And as we can see from all 3 heat maps, the patterns of these heat maps are not changed from year to year. That means that correlations still stable through within 3 years. And on the second slide, you can see the differences in SDG scores correlation, for example, between 20 and 21. As it's seen that differences in correlations between SDGs are very, very, very low, and differences which are in red are not, meanwhile they are high in comparison to others, but they are not statistically significant. That means that the interplay, the nexus among all SDGs remains unchangeable through years. And I want to additionally state that we performed such analysis for 10 years, and this statement is true, that nexus among SDGs are stable. Let's say we have the core in the set of all SDG, which drives the all sustainable development. Something wrong because I can't. Table 1 provides descriptive statistics for all SDG scores, including the 2023 SDG index. These statistics offer insights into the score's central tendency, dispersion, and distribution. As you can see, all data mostly are multimodal data, which means that we have the very different patterns in distribution of this data. We performed the factor analysis, explanatory factor analysis for 17 SDG scores and SDG index using the maximum likelihood factor extraction method. As a result, we have one factor which with an Eigen value of 9.97, indicating that it explains approximately 55.41% of total variance in the SDG scores. That suggests that this factor captures a significant portion of, sorry, something wrong. That this factor captured the significant portion of variation. Here you can see the factor loadings for each SDG score and the ranking by magnitude of factor loading. Let's say that we have the representation of SDG ranking due to their power in synergy effect in driving sustainable development all around the world. Sorry, but here we have this slide presents the regression summary where is the SDG 2023 SDG index score is the dependent value variable, and others are independent variables.
Dear Oksana, I'm sorry for interrupting, but in the meantime, I would like to mention that we have some time limitation. Could you please to summarize a little bit the result?
Yes. The main conclusion from our research is that our empirical analysis has shown that essential SDGs that have a synergetic effect on sustainable development all over the world is the goal number 1, no poverty, goal number 4, quality education, goal number 7, affordable and clean energy, goal 10, reduced inequalities, and goal 14, life below water, goal 15, life on land, and goal 17, partnerships for goals. This is the main insight for policy makers, where they can put their attempts in policy making and target intervention to assure comprehensive and full development of the world. Thank you very much. Sorry for time waste.
No, it's very interesting. Thank you very much for your presentation and for sharing your results. Dear participants, you are welcome to ask questions.
If I may, a little bit maybe uncomfortable, let's say, provocative question. Dear colleagues, you have a model, it works. We have definitely these ambitious sustainable development goals, more than 100 indicators, but the terroristic regime of Putin appeared, yeah? 2 years ago, and now these UN actually all mechanisms don't work. I mean, can we calculate or interact these unexpected issues globally, for your opinion?
Yes, very interesting remark. And I'm just in the topic to perform because I'm mostly the statistician mathematician in economics. And just now with our colleagues, we are trying to perform differences analysis, which means to estimate how the external and internal shocks imply on the state of indicators and the state of sustainable development. And there are a lot of publications with this approach, and just now we are putting attention in this field of topic, and it could be estimated because we have many examples.
Does it mean that you may predict the results of the situation?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Dear Igor, are you satisfied
Okay, thank you.
with the answers? Okay. Do you have any questions? If not, Pani Oksana, thank you very much for your interesting presentation, for your research. And if you don't mind, I would like to share my screen. And I would like to try to briefly deliver my main ideas of my presentation, which is prepared by me and other representative of my university. So my name is Todorova Tatiana, and I am from Kyiv National Economic University named after the Englishman. And I would like to tell today, please confirm, do you see my screen presentation?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So it works. And I would like to focus your attention on the importance of transition of our businesses, our companies, toward the sustainable models to align the sustainable development goals. Thank you very much for previous presentation once more. And I would like to remind, maybe very, very briefly, because sure this topic discussed many times during this conference as well, that really we are now have a huge problem with global warming, and the main source of it is exactly CO2 emissions. And one of the most important contributor to these emissions is exactly our industry sector, energy for sure, but also our companies, our business with logistics channels, with transportation using, with technologies, with the pollution of water, our environment, air, and with many, many other consequences and results, negative results of their operation activities. So we need to focus our attention on the transformation of our businesses and try to consider the main ways how to accelerate this transformation. But before, I would like to also focus your attention on the issue of the model of economic development. It's the common issue in the of all our world. For each national economy, one of the big, maybe not only challenge, but maybe not correct approach when indicators for development considered like, for example, increasing the GDP. It means that each economy tries to use as much as possible resources to produce as much as possible products. And for sure, as a result, we have a lot of waste not used goods, products, and so on. And what this model proposed by Kate Howard, the model which allows, it's called like donuts, because it will be understandable from the next slide why, because she proposed to consider our activities in terms of possibility to be inside two boundaries. Our task of each economy, not overcome our boundaries in terms of social standards. So each country needs to deliver to guarantee the social standards for the population, but at the same time, we need to do this without damaging our environment. So the issue is that ideal situation states here, and as you see from this diagram, it's impossible, in fact, to combine now, because when company and national economy really create very good living standards for the population, it means that these countries pollute the environment a lot. So this model, it's really looks like donuts, and the ideal picture you look here, and the Ukrainian case, it's before the war, but in any way we can see that unfortunately we have some issues, we have challenges, and we need to support our social standards and to deliver it in a better way. But at the same time, we have huge challenges in terms of our environmental pollution. As mentioned was recently, one way to improve the situation is really try to realize the Sustainable Development Goals, and if analyze the picture or level of realization of these goals in Ukraine, we see that some of these goals that really we see and can really confirm the visible progress in some goals realization, but at the same time we can summarize and underline that we have some big challenges in some fields. And unfortunately, one of these fields, and it's connected with my presentation, associated with our low-level realization goals, number 9, innovation, production, and infrastructure. One of the way to improve and attempt to improve the situation, to force to improve the situation, was done by European Commission, launching the concept Industry 5.0. And this concept differ from the previous 4.0, which was focused on the digitalization. In this case, we need not only focus on the digitalization, but also push our digital transformation towards the support digital transformation in field and toward the sustainable goals realization. And if we look on the best practices in the world, that we really can see that many technologies in this field, in terms of circular economy and innovation, realized in 2023, and it's exactly focused on the waste reusing, utilization, and it means that we really can force this progress. For businesses, the well-known and traditional approach to analyze, to assess the progress in the Sustainable Development Goals realization is so-called ESG framework or concept, when we can analyze the impact and progress of the company in 3 dimensions: environmental, social, and governance. For this, company needs to develop and set Sustainable Development Goal strategy and estimate the possible impact towards the realization of these goals. For the beginning, very briefly, the main ideas to estimate, to analyze the values, the principles, the mission and vision of the company, try to incorporate as much as possible sustainable strategy, and analyze, clearly identify what sustainable development goals could be the impact of our activity, prioritize this impact, estimate them, and clear set the targets, our activities which help us to improve our operation activities on the market and improve our impact on sustainable development goals realization. Like example, I would like to propose maybe more careful look at the one of the fields industry which significantly impact on the environment pollution, and it's fashion industry. Exactly when we talk about the fast fashion industry, as you see, we have huge level of extra pollution and unfortunately low level of recycling operations. What is the key problem and plus minuses, advantages, disadvantages, pros, cons of this industry? We can identify some advantages of this industry. It's associated with possibility to provide additional job for the population, for the people in low-income countries, because as usual, the production offshoring and it's like a good impact. But at the same time, we know that it's associated with low level of security and physical security, with low level of wages, and it leads to inequality equality of earning, and it's also one of the development goals. The way to improve the situation in these fields, for sure, to transform, to shift the models toward the circularity. And it means that I would like to strengthen maybe this statement by the numbers that extending the life of garments for 9 months can reduce its carbon footprint by 20 to 30%. So we need to do this. And at the same time, it depends on the company. Some company really realize the activity and do this sustainable in the same field, other one no. And I would like, it's like example of correct practice with clear identifying goals and reporting in this field. And unfortunately, we also have examples with unsustainable realization activities. I would like also focus our attention on the one aspect of the activity associated with sustainable development is eco-labeling. It's like advertising, advantages. It's at the same time help companies to strengthen brand, but at the same time, it's also like a challenge because other companies would use this tool like for greenwashing. We know this phenomena in business, which really some company try to use. And in this case, this green labels would be less efficient, less attractive for company, and because result of research shows that in fact many people very careful estimate these advantages or maybe attractiveness of green labels, because sometimes they really think that maybe it's not true or not completely true. But at the same time, so we see positive changes that confirm that that the customers prefer to buy organic products and with green labeling. It means to pay more, but the consciously choosing correct products increasing. And these numbers also confirm that even some careful attitude to the real confirmation of green labeling, we see that last years this changing in attitude, and more people prefer and voted by their money for sustainable products. So it creates the opportunity for companies to strengthen their competitive advantages. And confirmation of these trends that, for example, last year, ranking of the reputation brands in US placed the company Patagonia on the first place. And it's really very interesting company, which builds the their business model exactly from the beginning till the end of the life cycle of the product on the sustainable practices. From beginning, starting from the material using and the end products, repairing, to reusing, and even advertising company, they emphasize on the try to avoid people buy extra clothes or shoes if you don't need it. It's a little bit strange, but in fact, as a result, the sales increasing the production for this company. And maybe last example of H&M, a famous company in this field. In fact, this company reports and really try to make some influence step towards the sustainable development goal realization. But at the same time, it also met the situation when they tried to use this green labeling. In fact, they received the opposite result when really many influencers in social media tried to talk about the unsupportive message from this company, and it was declining of the sales. And I would like to summarize that it's really very important now for business to set sustainable development strategy, because if now in Europe it's obligation to report from the 2024 for all corporations, for businesses who earns on the territory of EU 150 million euro and more, they need to report about their sustainable development goals progress in activity. So very soon we will need to do the same. Even now, if we are going to cooperate with European companies, we need to understand that they will ask our company to report, to support their position in terms of sustainable development. And some of this direction I discussed, I think that I maybe also spent more time, and I would like to thank for your attention, and you're welcome to ask questions.
Thank you, colleagues. Our questions? May I, Tatiana? We, or at least I, met totally different points of view about relation between economy and environmental protection. Yeah, from your point of view as economist, may we make at least most of our businesses, environmentally friendly businesses, profitable? Or we just need to pay for the environmental protection, understanding the importance?
Thank you very much for your question. In fact, we don't. In fact, one of the main aim of my presentation exactly underlined that it's possible to be profitable furthermore, it's one of the prerequisites for our company to enter the European market, because without alignment to the European legislation, regulation, standardization, it's impossible to export the product. It doesn't matter what field we are talking about. So it's exactly possible, and we need to do this. And these examples of many companies prove that they earn exactly because they are sustainable. But we need to share this knowledge. We need to train how to do this, how to really incorporate this sustainable practice in the everyday activities of the company, how to report about this, how to really get the benefits of from this. Because many investors now very carefully look, and one of the main indicators exactly this report of sustainable development. So it works to do. It makes sense for sure.
Okay, not exactly what I asked, because regulation is a little bit different issue. Yeah, businesses are forced, yeah, to do something. But if we are in free market, yeah, may it be profitable, yeah, to be environmentally friendly.
I try to start from the cost in this case.
Okay.
Yes, we pretend to be sustainable. It means that we need to invest more to the cleaning water, using technologies, and so on. But it means that at the same time proposing organic production products, for example, in the market and so on, we ask higher price. We include this cost into price. And it means that we can still include our margin, and it's normal. And as I told about this survey, the customers prefer, more and more people now really ready and want to buy even more expensive but more sustainable products. It's not lost, it's invested.
Okay, we ecologists are with you. Yeah. One more question, Oksana.
Thank you very much. We have one question. We all know this phenomena called fast fashion, which is the rapid production of cheap trendy clothing that has significant environmental and social impacts. And in this context, arises the question about responsible consumer behavior. This is crucial in mitigating this impact. But what do you think? Are companies in the fast fashion industry responsible for influencing and shaping consumer behavior towards sustainable and ethical practices?
Thank you for your question very much. I think that yes, maybe not directly, but as much as possible. And the company do this through the proposal, delivering the sustainable products to the market. They train to use such type of products, our customers. But about the consumption, it's in terms of waste sorting or something like this. I think that the more responsibility is from our government, of which some policies makers documents with at least to place these sort of different bags for sorting this waste, because I want to do this, but I can't. So we need to start from this, but at the same time, the sharing this information with extremely important from our schools, from our children from schools. In universities, it's obligatory needs to be taught such courses. We need to strong and share this awareness about this issue. And in this case, I believe it will work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, if we can close the discussion of this topic, I propose to go ahead, and I invite to make the presentation Tatiana Sokolska and Olga Shaitor. Ukrainian national policy in agrarian sector competitiveness, considering the sustainable development concept from Bila Tserkva National Agrarian University. Dear colleagues, you are welcome. The floor is yours.
I guess they are absent, Tatiana.
Okay. In this case, we are moving on, and I would like to invite to make a speech Larisa Starshinskaya, Vladimir Starshinsky, and the topic is theoretical and methodological foundations of the innovation process in the system of sustainable development, and its National University of Food Technologies representative. I was asked. Either you know better.
Oh, I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay, okay. At least we can postpone a little bit this presentation if people appear a little bit later. So the next topic, navigating challenges, NGO development in Poland and Ukraine. Tatiana Popova from Poltava State Agrarian University. Tatiana, I see you with us. You are very welcome to share your presentation.
Right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Mhm. Can you see my presentation?
Almost. Yes. Yes. Mhm.
So hello, everyone. My name is Popova Tatiana. I'm a postdoctoral candidate of Poltava State Agrarian University. And the topic of my research, navigating challenges and NGO development in Poland and Ukraine. So the content of my presentation will include next parts, research background, research objectives, methodology, and research finding. So research on Ukrainian and Polish NGOs is vital due to their role in sustainable development by filling gaps in government services, advocating for policy changes, and implementing grassroots projects. Despite their importance, they face challenges such as limited resources and also political situation, and also they need to overcome these challenges by using advanced technologies and practices which were already used in other countries. And in this case, I'm exploring these approaches in Poland. So learning from Poland's experience provides valuable insights for overcoming these challenges and navigating European Union integrations. So the main goals of my research to examine the legal framework of NGO formation, to identify common challenges of Ukrainian and Polish NGOs, and to provide some recommendation for fostering the development of NGOs in Ukraine and Poland, in Ukraine, I'm sorry, based on Polish experience. So the study primarily utilizes quantitative data analysis techniques such as data visualization to examine the legal framework, funding sources, and their other challenges of NGO. Both primary and secondary data sources were used to provide a comprehensive analysis. So the main research findings. The development you can see here, so the diversity of nonprofit organization, they're mostly influenced by the goal of the organization, and there are a lot of different approaches which are used in order to identify their most important features of nonprofit organizations. And from our point of view, a structural operational approach based on the characteristic of nonprofit organization has to be used to define them. And if we are talking about legal framework and characteristic of NGO emergence in Poland and Ukraine, on this slide, you can see that they get through different stages. And if we are talking about similarities in differences in legal framework for NGO emergence, it's necessary to know that Poland has had a faster progression because it established its legal framework for NGO earlier, allowing for longer periods of development and professionalization. And of course, the earlier adoption of legal regulation may have provided a more stable foundation for the NGO sector in Poland and allowed for a longer time for NGO to grow and mature. So if we are talking about funding sources, so common challenges in the third sector of both countries, Poland and Ukraine, include struggles with funding and resource availability for NGOs. So Polish NGOs, you can see that on the slide, secure financing from diverse sources, including donation, subsidies, business activities and grants, while also benefiting from a tax deduction. Similarly, Ukrainian NGOs rely on funding from charities, membership fees, and government budgets, with additional support coming from donor organizations like the United Nations Development Program and the European Union, and also other organizations. And when we consider the overall diversity of funding sources, Poland appears to have a more diverse funding landscape. The inclusion of commercial service, business revenue, and the 1% tax contribution showcases a broader range of financial resources available to NGOs in Poland. When we are talking about other challenges which NGOs in Poland and Ukraine face, it's necessary to mention that more or less they are similar, of course. So Ukraine, in addition, has insufficient number of competitive programs and long-term funding. So NGOs exist while they have funding. So when the funding is over, so NGO still they exist in statistics, but they don't function. Uncertainty in the legal framework, also lack of motivation on the part of companies to engage in charitable activities. They don't have enough motivation to do that. Also, it's necessary to mention insufficient financial literacy among NGOs staff and shortage of professional human resources as well. And in Poland, so challenges are mostly the same, but of course Ukraine has to pay attention that they have, and probably Ukrainian NGOs in the future will face with the same problems. They don't have enough people who are ready to volunteer to support NGO projects. So the tendencies in Ukraine has been changed when the war started. So a lot of people in our country right now, they want to volunteer, and it's a very good trend which shows that NGO sector has started to grow. And also overcoming bureaucracy, it's very important, and shaping legal framework play crucial roles in NGO sector development. So based on the experience of Polish NGO development and some trends of Ukrainian NGO sector functioning in Ukraine, there are several lessons that Ukraine can learn to address these challenges, and you can see them on the slides. Of course, it's necessary to diversify funding sources in order to reduce dependence on government support. And right now we have a lot of different sources. We just have to apply and to get these available grants. So secondly, improving the legal framework for NGO is also very important in order to ensure stability for their operation. The next one, capacity building initiative. focused on financial literacy, project management, and fundraising skill, also can empower Ukrainian NGOs to effectively navigate the challenges they face. And for sure, sharing best practices, fostering collaborations between NGO organizations in different countries could contribute to the process of their evolving greatly. So overall, by learning from the Polish experience, Ukraine can work towards overcoming these challenges, and it's possible to create a more favorable environment for NGO development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your interesting presentation and topic. And dear colleagues, do you have any questions? You are welcome to ask them.
It seems I will be the most active askers, if it's possible, Tatiana. Please, two maybe short questions. First, more similarity or more difference between Polish and Ukrainian NGO is one issue. And second, do you have some assessment about proportion? Most NGO in Polish, for example, they are kind of national or international, and what is the situation in Ukraine?
Yeah, I would say we have a lot of similarities. Just Poland started to develop NGO sector earlier because this country started to European Union integration faster than Ukraine. So of course it had an impact on NGO development. And I would say, for example, right now I'm studying the NGO development in the United States, and I would say even NGOs in the United States, they face the same challenges like Ukrainian and Polish NGOs, and it depends mostly on their sizes. And so the most important challenge, like I mentioned in my presentation, is getting funding resources and different sources. And they have, their people are more likely to volunteer and to donate money. They have this culture, habits, and they have very good skills to fundraise money and to write different projects and to apply for grants. Also, of course, because it's a rich country, their community, most of them, they're able to donate a lot of money to non-profit organization, and this non-profit organization, they fill this gap and provide services which government, for example, in our country, is not able to provide. The same happens in Poland as well. So their role is crucial, and their opportunity, unfortunately, fortunately for them, and they are better compared to our NGO sector developments. But we are on a way, and we are studying the experience of other countries, and I hope we will be able to provide in our country as well. So, and the second question about the measure.
Yeah, that is why I am asking about international level of NGO for grant support.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't explore these questions in my research, but I paid attention, like I mentioned before, about the size of NGOs here. They even have different challenges because like big NGOs and probably international NGOs, they have less problems with funding. Even big NGOs here in the United States, they use special endowment funds. For example, some rich families, they can support special NGOs, for example, NGOs which are devoted to prevent cancer or which protect women and children from violation. If something similar happens in families, in some rich families, they will provide money exactly to this organization. So kinds of personal factors plays a crucial role here. And this endowment funds can function for years. And this organization doesn't have they don't struggle. They don't struggle with finding these financial sources. Small organization like local, they are not international. Of course, I was talking to some people because I'm conducting right now a research based on case studies, and they have funding, let's the same in our country, for example, for 1 or for 2 years, and they are saying that they are not sure will they be able to exist, for example, next year if they will not get this funding. Yeah, but totally, if we are talking about comparison businesses, private donations, they play a crucial role. And in our country, it's government donation. And the problem which exists in our country also, we have a lot of available grants, but unfortunately, sometimes it exists here too. For example, in Poland and in the United States, unfortunately, people kind of afraid to apply for these grants because, for example, sometimes the amount of grants is not very kind of large or huge, but you have to fill out different documentation, and you have to write numerous reports. And people just don't want to get into this kind of difficult procedure.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting. Thank you.
May I ask small question?
Yeah, sure.
Because I would like to also know, hopefully some of these organization conduct the sustainable practices. And I would like to ask, does it help to obtain some funding?
Does it help to obtain some funding if they provide sustainable development? Yeah, it does, but I would say already most of these organization kinds of, especially big one, they were established long time ago, like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and they continue function. They has been functioning for years, and there are just available funds, I would say, and the funds and missions of this organization. It's already aligned with their sustainable goals development. So anyways, they don't need to change their missions in order to get this funding. They already have this main statements which are written in their statutes and their official documents. It's their mission. They just follow this mission here. In their mission, of course, their missions aligns with the sustainable goal development.
Okay, thank you very much for this interesting presentation and this discussion. Okay, and I announce the close in this discussion, and I propose to go on to the next presentation. I would like to ask if Vasilina Pidlesna with us, because
she has problem with connection.
Okay, thank you very much, because I quickly checked and I haven't seen her. As Ganna Kalamits and Olga Milentsova.
They are
The same. Okay, thank you very much. But I saw the Anastasia Dukhnenko. I hope we have a chance to listen this presentation.
Yes, good afternoon. Please give me a second to share my screen.
Anastasia, and I announce your presentation. Anastasia Dukhnenko from Kyiv National Economic University. It's great. And the topic, the use of advanced IT technologies in HR operations.
Are you able to see my screen? So the purpose of my work is to study the advanced IT technologies in HR operations. First of all, it's important to determine why it is important to align HR management with the organization's business strategy. I can highlight the following aspects. HR plays a pivotal role in providing insights into workforce capabilities, skills gaps, and talent needs. By aligning HR with business strategy, organizations can make informed decisions about recruitment, training, and talent management to support their strategic objectives. a well-aligned HR function can become a source of competitive advantage by attracting, developing, and retaining top talent that aligns with organization's strategic goals. Companies can differentiate themselves in the marketplace. And when HR practices are aligned with business objectives, it ensures that the workforce is directed towards achieving their organization's goals efficiently. This alignment enhances overall performance and productivity. And obviously, employees are more likely to be engaged and committed to their work when they understand how their efforts contribute to the organization's broader objectives. And in today's dynamic business environment, organizations need to be agile and responsive to changes. So what tool to use? Human capital management software, or HCM software, is a comprehensive digital HR solution that enables organizations to automate HR operations and manage their employees in the best way possible. With the HCM platforms, organizations can get rid of their manual administrative work that can eat up most of the time and turn that focus toward strategic initiatives that help the organization stay competitive. Every employee-related process, including recruitment, onboarding, core HR operations, training, talent development, analytics, and so on, can be tracked and managed through a centralized HCM system online. And this way, a business does not have to operate 10 different HR systems that do not communicate with each other. Machine learning and artificial intelligence utilize extensive data volumes to provide predictive analysis, customized suggestions, and decision-making assistance, thereby improving HR operations through the following methods. Predictive analytics leverage AI to analyze historical data and forecast future workforce trends. And by analyzing past employee data, including turnover rates, performance reviews, and engagement surveys, AI algorithms can identify patterns indicative of potential attrition. Improving employee retention. Machine learning algorithms are instrumental in analyzing vast data sets encompassing employee demographics, performance metrics, engagement surveys, and historical turnover patterns. AI-driven adaptive learning platforms leverage machine learning algorithms to tailor learning experiences to the unique needs and preferences of each individual employee. By analyzing data on learning styles, past performance, skill gaps, and career aspirations, these platforms generate personalized recommendations for training content, delivery methods, and learning paths. Chatbots. In today's digital age, AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants are revolutionizing the way HR departments manage routine inquiries and support employee needs. These intelligent systems are trained on extensive knowledge bases encompassing HR policies, procedures, benefits, and frequently asked questions, enabling them to provide instant responses to common queries. Enhanced hiring practices. AI algorithms are adept at parsing through vast amounts of data from resumes, cover letters, and online profiles to identify candidates whose skills and experiences align with job requirements. These algorithms utilize natural language processing, or NLP techniques, to extract relevant information such as education, work history, technical skills, and certification from textual documents. Analysis of Ukrainian HCM systems. There should have been an analysis of these systems, but Ukrainian HCMs are almost absent from the market. The research revealed that there are currently two of them, Hurma and Smart HCM LMS. Regarding the use of AI in Ukrainian products and solutions, for example, Hurma provides the Fox AI plugin, which automatically scans candidate profiles on LinkedIn, WorkUA, and other popular job portals. So, what are the challenges to AI and ML adoption for Ukraine? First of all, its cost of implementation. The initial investment required for implementing these technologies in HCM can be prohibitive for organizations, particularly smaller businesses. Integration complexity. Integrating AI and ML technologies with existing HCM platforms and legacy systems can be complex and time-consuming, and requiring resources and proper expertise. Cultural resistance. Cultural norms and organizational resistance to change may impede the adoption of AI and ML, as employees and stakeholders may perceive these innovations as threatening traditional HR practices. Limited use cases. The lack of demonstrated use cases and success stories specific to AI and ML applications within the Ukrainian context may deter organizations from investing in these technologies. They prefer to wait for proven outcomes before adoption. Ethical issues. Concerns surrounding data privacy, algorithmic bias, and transparency in decision-making may deter organizations from adopting AI and ML solutions in HCM, particularly in contexts where ethical considerations are paramount. Lack of education or lack of awareness and understanding among HR professionals and organizational leaders about the potential benefits and applications of these technologies may hinder adoption efforts, emphasizing the need for targeted education and training initiatives. The sensitive nature of HR data also raises concerns about data breaches and unauthorized access, undermining trust in AI and ML applications in human resource information systems. And of course, absence of legal regulation. Because for now in Ukraine, there is a lack of clear regulatory frameworks and data protection laws specific to AI and ML applications, and it may pose legal and compliance risks for organizations, leading to reluctance in adoptions. And of course, 1S. According to Vitaly Blashko, director of IT Grant, a Poltava-based company specializing in enterprise automation, if we count only legal copies, about 70% of Ukrainian businesses work with 1S. And since this Russian software provides a module for HR operations, for basic HR operations, many Ukrainian companies are still using this outdated solution, and moreover, are not going to switch to other solutions, as they have already invested a lot of money in the system. And this hinders the development of the Ukrainian HCM market. So in conclusion, the integration of high-tech solutions fundamentally changes human resource management methods. By leveraging machine learning algorithms and advanced statistical tools, organizations can make more informed decisions, optimize HR processes, and enhance their employee experience. However, it is crucial to consider ethical issues and ensure appropriate technology use, fostering transparency and trust in the workplace environment. The impact of AI on HR processes is expected to continue growing, creating impressive opportunities for development and encouraging Ukrainian businesses to abandon outdated solutions. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much, Anastasia, for your presentation, for very interesting idea and useful information for management. And I would like to ask the participants, do you have any questions? Igor?
No, no.
I would like, if I may, I would like to ask about the consequences of using these digital tools in terms of possible unemployment, increasing or firing people, or maybe not, or training them, or how do you expect possible way to deal with this issue?
Of course, it is a big problem because these tools like AI and machine learning can just leave people without their jobs and, of course, money to live. But as for now, my research was from the company perspective, not from the employee's perspective whose job can be replaced with AI and machine learning algorithms. So for businesses, of course, these algorithms are good and it can reduce their costs. But obviously for people, and this can be really frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but exactly, I mentioned about the Industry 5.0 concept, and it's exactly emphasized on the necessity the company to take responsibility for digitalization and train and adapt staff for these changes. And so hopefully it will define somewhat such a balance of the interest of production productivity increasing through the using this artificial intelligence in other digital tools. And at the same time, it will be possible, hopefully, as much as possible, to keep workplaces as well. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. It's really a very relevant and current issue in the business.
Thank you for your attention.
Dear colleague, do you have other questions? No? So in this case, I would like to announce the last but not the least presentation with very interesting topic. And I invite Professor Astakio from Federal University of Lavras from Brazil with the topic is biosurfactant production and petroleum degradation using spent mushroom substrate. Dear Professor, the floor is yours. And dear participants, I would like to ask you to put on your question in the chat if you have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, and we see your presentation. If it's possible, maybe press the presentation mode, but it we also will see. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank the invitation to present my talking today. I teach at the Federal University of Lavras, and my research area is agriculture and microbiology. And today, I will speak about the biosurfactant production and petroleum degradation using spent mushroom substrate. Okay, what is the spent mushroom substrate? We call spent mushroom substrate as SMS, and I will use the expression to talk about this spent mushroom substrate. SMS is what remains after mushroom cultivation. And we have a concern about the utilization of this product because some years ago, the SMS was discarded as waste or used directly as organic fertilizer. The problem with disposal is the multiplication of insects, especially flies, and inappropriate use as organic fertilizer could result in contamination of groundwater and increased soil salinity. So, how much of SMS is produced? Each kilogram of mushroom produced results in around 5 kilos of SMS. Considering 48 million tons of mushroom produced in the world, we had 240 million tons of SMS generated in 22. China is the principal producer of mushrooms. So, but in Europe, we have the second most quantity of mushroom produced. And we have a question. Today, SMS is a problem or a solution? A waste or a source of valuable compounds? In fact, we have many possibilities about the use of SMS. And we will talk about this. We have made some works about using SMS in different uses, but we talk about only some of them. We have some examples in the literature about the use of SMS. They may use it as organic fertilizer, soil amendment, substrate for seedling production, production of ecological bricks, enzyme production, and bioremediation. We had some papers published that use SMS. This one is not published yet, but we used the SMS to produce pinus seedlings. And we have some results about this. When we use SMS from different species of mushrooms, we have different data from the seedlings. So when you consider the commercial substrate as control, the Pleurostosteatus SMS is the best to produce pinus seedling, followed by Agaricus bisporus. But it's interesting that these results may vary according to the plant species evaluated in the experiment. And a good example will be given in the next slide. Here you use the SMS of Agaricus bisporus in tomato seedlings production. And it's possible to see the vigor of seedlings produced in a substrate based on Agaricus bisporus SMS in comparison to seedling produced in a commercial substrate. There is a big difference between them. So, considering the tomato seedlings, Agaricus bisporus is very good. We tested to another species of mushroom, to other horticultural plants like lettuce, and the use of Agaricus subrufescens was excellent. So, there is a big variation considering the different species of mushrooms and the different plant species used in the experiment. We'll talk about the petroleum degradation. It's a study we started to do. And the use of the SMS for petroleum degradation is not a new approach. However, for an efficient process or a commercial product to be used in larger areas or volumes of soils contaminated, it's necessary to improve the efficiency of the process. So we'll talk a little about that in the next slides. Here, we show the results of a test we carry out to evaluate oil degradation using SMS from Lentinula edodes, the shiitake, and Pleurotus ostreatus. It's possible to observe a reduction in the concentration of some hydrocarbons. So we may see some kinds of hydrocarbons that we observed a reduction of the concentration. But some of them we can't observe a reduction of the concentration. So these results were observed after 3 months of treatment. So it's necessary to have a procedure which can do the degradation more quickly. How to improve the process? Some studies have shown that a consortium of fungi with bacteria makes the degradation process more efficient. Therefore, the use of Agaricus subrufescens SMS can be an excellent option because the compost itself is a rich source of bacteria. Furthermore, the soil used as casing layer is also rich in bacteria. Normally, to cultivate this mushroom, like Agaricus bisporus, the button mushroom, we must put a casing layer over the compost to have a good fructification. It's common to use in Europe some kinds of materials, but in Brazil, we use soil. So the compost is a good source of bacteria because this compost is obtained from composting process. And you have a community of bacteria from the casing layer. So besides the mycelium and the metabolites from the colonization of the mushroom species on the compost, we have the bacteria from the compost itself and bacteria from the casing layer. Another possibility is the addition of biosurfactants, which can be produced by Pleurotus mushrooms. There are many species of fungi and bacteria that produce biosurfactants, but our goal is to use the mushroom species. So you will have tested some mushroom species, and the Pleurotus species are good producers of biosurfactants. So we seem to use a combination of SMS from Agaricus subrufescens. Maybe use Agaricus bisporus in the future. We may test and use the SMS of Pleurotus ostreatus or other species. We have made a test using the SMS from different species of Pleurotus. We have 2 strains from Pleurotus ostreatus and other 2 species of Pleurotus, Pleurotus digamo and Pleurotus eringi. And you may see that using sawdust plus cough husk, we have a emulsification index above 90%. The best one was Pleurotus ostreatus using sawdust plus cough husk. But the other treatments were very good too. Pleurotus eringi did not grow on the substrate using sawdust plus cough husk. So you used another substrate, sawdust plus wheat bran. And the emulsification index was a little bit lower, but was very good too. We make a test using Agaricus subrufescens SMS to degrade the oil. So we have the control at the where we didn't use the Agaricus subrufescens SMS. And here you have the treatment using the Agaricus subrufescens SMS after 3 months. So it's possible to see by the color that the petroleum disappear after 3 months. In future approach, we want to do the characterization of biosurfactants produced by Pleurotus species, because we have the biosurfactants, but you have emulsifiers too. So we do not know if you are producing, in fact, biosurfactants or emulsifiers. So you want to characterize these products. You want to do the definition of the best SMS proportions between Pleurotus and agave subrufescens species. And we want to study of the microbial succession during oil degradation using mushroom species. It's important because during this test, we see a different mushroom species growing at the end of the process of degradation. So Basidium mycete that you didn't want to cultivate, but it was present at the final of the experiment. So there is a microbial succession during this process. So I think it's important to study this microbial succession, because we may have another mushroom species or bacterial species that are important in the process. Because you didn't use arsenic substrate, you used a substrate which is rich in the several species of microorganisms, because this compost, after the composting process, it's only pasteurized. If you use the pasteurization, many species of microorganisms may survive after the process. So I think it's important to know a little bit more about this microbial community present during this process. So I want to thank the Brazilian agents for their financial support. And I want to thank my institution, the Federal University of Lavras, my graduate program in the agricultural microbiology, and my research group, Biofungi. Thank you very much, and thanks to Sergey to invite me for this presentation. And I'm if you have some question, I'm available. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Eustachio, for your very interesting presentation. And dear colleagues, if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask.
May I start? Professor Eustachio, it's very interesting. Thank you very much. First, I think that it's interesting to know for you that in Ukraine, I think in Ukraine, the industry for mushroom production is really active and it's really big, because we can buy a lot of mushrooms in every supermarket or even in the street, and it's cheap and available, and it's very nice. So maybe you can organize, if you need some collaboration with our industry, because your research is really relevant to our industry. And then you work with a lot of different species. Your group, I know that your group works with really different species of mushrooms, and there are edible mushrooms like champignons and the shiitake, but there are also medicinal mushrooms which have psychotropic values. And those ones sometimes, of course, they are psychotropic. They are like restricted, or they might be restricted. I don't know. That's my question. So, and you know, in Ukraine we have unfortunately war is going on, and there are lots of people with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So, what is your opinion about the future of using mushrooms for medicinal purposes for treating of PTSD? Thank you.
Okay. I have been working with a medicinal mushroom, but its medicinal properties against cancer and other diseases. And lastly, I start to work with medicinal mushroom, which is hallucinogen. Its name is Psilocybe cubensis, and many people use this mushroom not for medicinal purpose, but for like recreative purpose, because they cause hallucinations and some kind of, and it has a problem because there are some problems if the people use it continuously. So, but when it is used with control, it has very, very interesting properties. It has been studied about its use to control addiction in alcoholism, and against the depression, and it has been used for people who has cancer, to control the anxiety, and something like that. So I have an interest to study this mushroom to see what kind of substrate and environment conditions may influence these characteristics, the concentration of the metabolite that can be used in with medicinal purpose. But I'm an agronomist and not a physician. And my interest is to study the condition to cultivate, to improve their medicinal properties. But for that, we need to have a collaboration with universities, with physicians, because they have all conditions to do these kinds of assays to know what is happening. So we have talked with some doctors in Brazil to start it, because we have some concerns about cultivation. in my university, I will know some students go out there to find some mushrooms to use for personal interest. So it's a very big concern about that. But yes, it's a very, very important mushroom. And right now, we are in to the forest here in the south of the Minas Gerais state. And we are looking for the wild mushroom species and to know what are their properties, and if they are good to eat, or if they are good to explore their medicinal properties. So it's a very, very, very interesting area of investigation.
Thank you. What may I ask also? Those psychotropic mushrooms, are they strictly controlled by police in Brazil and maybe in other countries?
By legislation.
Yeah, but in fact, by legislation, if somebody can grow, if somebody decides to grow, that he will be caught and sent to.
Many people go to the yields to collect them because they grow naturally. Recently, a mushroom grower started to produce commercially, but he had problems with the law. In Brazil, the law doesn't speak nothing about the mushroom with the psychedelic properties. They talk about the drugs, the common drugs, but they do not talk about the psychedelic mushrooms. So it is not illegal to sell, And many people sell the psychedelic mushrooms by the internet. But when this mushroom grower starts to produce and sell, so the police went to him, and though it's not possible, it's not good for you. So it's a problem right now. But the students and some people went to the youth and collect the mushrooms growing naturally. So the policy is not concerned about them.
Thank you very much.
But,
Very interesting.
There is a point. The Brazilian legislation respect the religious aspect. And some people say, oh, I use this mushroom for religious purpose, and I'm freedom for my religion. So some questions.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you very much. I think there is a very good future for treatment of psychological disorders.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, do you have any questions?
No.
No? If no, so I would like to close our section, our discussion, and it's my pleasure to be here with you, and I would like to pass the microphone to the organizers and close my mission today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. I guess we really happy to have all of you. Thank all our today's speakers. You see, so different reports and so interesting. All reports definitely is relevant and interesting. Thank all of you and for our professional moderator. And thanks all of us to be here. Just guys, we are almost following the schedule. In 10 minutes, I propose to restrict from 15 to 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we will have the last, but as they say, not least section for today, social issues and public health. And in 4:15 p.m. we are here again, if you don't mind. And again, right now I will turn on the poster presentations of our economic session, and you may see and have a brief coffee break, something like that. In 15 minutes we will continue. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a good coffee break.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
And
very much.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Everything. Okay, Masha. In 16:15. Okay.